Clifford Joseph Harris Jr., born September 25, 1980, known professionally as T.I. or Tip, often stylized as Tip, is an American rapper. Early life. Clifford Joseph Harris Jr. was born on September 25, 1980, in Atlanta, Georgia, the son of Clifford Buddy Harris Sr. and Violetta Morgan. He was raised by his grandparents in Atlanta's Center Hill neighborhood just off Bankhead Highway and lived in Bankhead. His father lived in New York City, and he often went there to visit. Buddy suffered from Alzheimer's disease and died from the disease. Harris began rapping at age 8. His stage name originally came from his childhood nickname Tip, after his paternal great-grandfather. He was once known as Rubber Band Man, a reference to the custom of wearing rubber bands around the wrist to denote wealth in terms of drugs or money. Personal life. Family. In 2001, T.I. began a relationship with Escape member Tamika Tiny Cottle. The couple married on July 30, 2010, in Miami Beach, Florida. Together, they have 2 sons and 1 daughter. His daughter from that marriage, Eris, performs under the name Eris Harris. In June 2024, Eris performed at the BET Awards 2024 with collaborator Savannah McConaughy, who performs under the stage name T.I. In addition, T.I. has 2 sons with LaShawn Dixon and a daughter from a relationship with R&B singer Ms. Nico. Through his marriage to Cottle, T.I. has 1 stepdaughter. In December 2016, Tiny filed for divorce from T.I. The couple have been working on a reconciliation. On February 22, 2019, T.I. lost his older sister, Precious Harris, to a car accident that put her on life support a week earlier. Suicide interventions. In 2006, T.I. was at the scene of singer Scott Stapp's suicide attempt. Stapp explained on VH1's Big Morning Buzz Live that he had attempted suicide in Miami by jumping off a balcony and T.I. took care of the situation. Stapp said, "I laid out there for 2.5 hours and my guardian angel showed up. He immediately took care of the situation and saved my life." T.I. and Stapp met while recording songs for the Passion of the Christ soundtrack in 2004 and bonded over their shared love of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Stapp stated, "I found out later it was the only room left in the hotel and he came in off the street and came out, and as I'm laying on the ledge, blood fell to his feet and he looked up and he had an Alabama hat on. I said, 'Roll Tide,' and then he looked at me and put 2 and 2 together and really saved my life." On October 13, 2010, T.I. convinced Joshua Starks, a 24-year-old suicidal man in Atlanta, not to jump from a 22-story building. After hearing of the situation on the radio, he drove to the scene at the 400 Colony Square building and asked police if he could help. T.I. then talked to the man and convinced him not to jump. Afterwards, T.I. stated, "For one, I'm not taking any credit. I didn't do it. I could have just as well came down there and it could have been resolved in another way. The fact of the matter is that God put me in a position to help, and I can't take any credit for that." Female president comments. In October 2015, T.I. received backlash when he was speaking on 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, not to be sexist, but "I can't vote for the leader of the free world to be a woman. Just because every other position that exists, I think a woman could do well. But the president? It's kinda like, I just know that women make rash decisions emotionally, they make very permanent, cemented decisions, and then later, it's kind of like it didn't happen, or they didn't mean for it to happen. And I sure would hate to just set off a nuke. Other leaders will not be able to negotiate the right kinds of foreign policy, the world ain't ready yet. I think you might be able to get the Loch Ness Monster elected before you could get a woman." Following the reaction from social media, T.I. publicly apologized on Twitter. Virginity tests on daughter. In November 2019, T.I. was widely criticized after telling the Ladies Like Us podcast that he annually accompanied his 18-year-old daughter Deja Harris to have her hymen gynecologically checked to confirm her virginity, despite the fact that such tests are viewed as unreliable as the hymen can be broken by other causes. Such tests were condemned in 2018 by the World Health Organization, WHO, UN Human Rights and UN Women, as medically unnecessary and oftentimes painful, humiliating and traumatic. T.I. initially responded by claiming he was never in the exam room during the procedure, although he later admitted he had been when his daughter was younger. In June 2020, Deja addressed the controversy, saying that the experience was traumatizing, had negatively impacted her relationship with her father and that she wanted to be a better parent than he was. Music career. 1996 to 2000, career beginnings. In 1996, T.I. befriended local rapper Big Country King. Together, they sold mixtapes out of the trunk of their car. Cohen K.P. Prather, a record executive, discovered T.I. and then signed him to his record label Ghetto Vision Entertainment. Upon signing with Arista Records subsidiary LaFace Records in 1999, he shortened his name from Tip to T.I. out of respect for Arista label mate Q-Tip.T.I. Relays the situation as: we were both on Arista and we was trying to release my first album. The people who had to market, promote, and, just spread the word on it communicated that it was somewhat difficult or confusing to have two Tips in one building. So out of respect and just the legendary reputation and career that preceded that situation, I definitely conceded. My problem, or conflict, at the time, was now this is what I've been called all my life, what do I change my name to? So, I guess, that began to hold my project up. What are we gonna call him? You know what I'm saying? So at that point, we had to come to some sort of a resolution. And KP, who signed me to LaFace, he just said, okay, look man, how about T.I.? 'Cause on this one record I had, it was like, TIP, I was like, wait a minute. No. That was, you left out a letter still. You know what I'm saying? He was like, well, listen man. You got something better? No, I don't have anything better. Well, that's what we going with, man. So it's kinda how it came about. 2001 to 2002, Atlantic Records deal, and I'm serious. Main article, I'm serious. T.I. released his debut album, I'm Serious, in October 2001 through Arista Records. The album spawned the single of the same name featuring Jamaican reggae artist Beenie Man on June 26, 2001. The single received little airplay and failed to chart. The album features guest appearances from his southern hip-hop group P.C, Jazz Fa, Too Short, Bone Crusher, Lil Jon, Pastor Troy and Youngbloods, as well as Pharrell Williams of American record production team The Neptunes, who called him the Jay-Z of the South. The production for I'm Serious was handled by The Neptunes, DJ Temp, Madvac and the Grand Hustle team. Despite the album's guest appearances and production team, the album peaked at number 98 and only sold 163,000 copies in the United States. Critics pointed to the fact that many of the tracks sounded the same and that a few were blatant rip-offs. Other critics commented saying, T.I. claims to be the king of the South, but fails to show and prove. He does, however, have potential. If his talent ever matches his confidence, he may be headed for stardom. Due to the poor commercial reception of the album, T.I. was dropped from Arista Records. He then formed Grand Hustle Entertainment and began releasing several mixtapes with the assistance of DJ Drama. He resurfaced in mid-2003, appearing on fellow Atlanta-based rapper and former label-mate Bone Crusher's hit single, Never Scared. His mixtapes and mainstream exposure from Never Scared eventually recaptured major label attention, and T.I. signed a joint venture deal with Atlantic Records. 2003 to 2004, Trap Music and Urban Legend. Main articles, Trap Music and Urban Legend, album. T.I. released his second album Trap Music on August 19, 2003, through Grand Hustle Records. It debuted at number 4 and sold 109,000 copies in its first week. It spawned the singles 24s, Be Easy, Rubber Band Man and Let's Get Away. The album features guest appearances from 8 Ball and MJG, Jazz Fa, Bun B and Mac Boney. It was produced by Jazz Fa, Kanye West, David Banner, Madvac and DJ Temp. Upon its release, Trap Music received generally favorable reviews from most music critics, who generally regarded it as a major improvement over his debut album, I'm Serious. This included Complex naming the album one of the classic albums of the last decade in 2012. In February 2013, AllHipHop.com placed it as number 5 as the best Southern hip-hop album of all time. T.I. released his third studio album, Urban Legend, in November 2004. It debuted at number 7 on the U.S. Billboard 200, selling 193,000 copies in its first week. The album's lead single, Bring 'Em Out, which was produced by Swizz Beatz, was released in January 2005 and became T.I.'s first top 10 hit, peaking at number 9 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. The second single, You Don't Know Me, peaked at number 23 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. His third single, ASAP, reached number 75 on the U.S. charts, number 18 on the U.S. R&B/hip-hop charts, and number 14 on the rap chart. T.I. filmed a dual music video for ASAP and Motivation. Motivation only made it to number 62 on the U.S. R&B/hip-hop singles chart. In 2004, T.I. was featured on Destiny's Child's hit single Soldier, alongside New Orleans-bred rapper Lil Wayne, which peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100 chart. 2005 to 2006, P.C. album, King and ATL. Main articles, P.C. 25 to Life, album, King, T.I. album, and ATL, film. T.I. at the Summer Jam concert in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on July 23, 2006. In September 2005, T.I. teamed up with his Pimp Quad Click, P.C. cohorts, Big Country King, Mac Boney, Sierra Denike, to release P.C.'s debut studio album, 25 to Life. The album, which was preceded by several self-released mixtapes by P.C., peaked at number 10 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart. The album was supported by the lead single I'm a King, which was included on the soundtrack to the film Hustle and Flow, a collection released by T.I.'s label imprint Grand Hustle under the aegis of Atlantic Records. T.I.'s fourth album, King, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart in the first half of 2006, selling 522,000 copies in its first week. T.I. released Front Back and Ride With Me as promotional singles prior to the release of the album. The singles garnered little attention. The album's lead single What You Know became a hit in the US and helped promote not only the album, but also ATL, the film T.I. starred in, that coincided with the album's release. The album also spawned the singles Why You Wanna, Live in the Sky, and a remix of Top Back, which was included on the Grand Hustle compilation album Grand Hustle Presents, Into Streets Volume 4. King earned numerous awards and nominations, including a Grammy Award nomination for Best Rap Album. He was featured on newly signed Grand Hustle artist Young Diaro's debut single Shoulder Lean, which reached the top 10 on the U.S. Hot 100 and number 1 on the U.S. Hot R&B/hip-hop songs and Hot Rap Tracks. What You Know won a Grammy Award for Best Rap Solo Performance and was nominated for Best Rap Song at the 49th Grammy Awards. Also in 2006, T.I. collaborated with Justin Timberlake for My Love, which proved to be a worldwide hit. It won a Grammy Award for Best Rap/Song collaboration with Timberlake at the 49th Annual Grammy Awards, 29, and won Best Male Hip-Hop Artist at the BET Awards for the second straight time. He then served as a featured performer on We Talkin' Over by DJ Khaled, featuring Akon, Fat Joe, Rick Ross, Birdman and Lil Wayne. In 2006, T.I. received 2 Grammy Award nominations for Best Song Collaboration, Soldier W/Destiny's Child and Lil Wayne, and Best Rap Solo Performance for You Don't Know Me at the 48th Grammy Award ceremony. In 2006 he won Rap Artist of the Year, Rap Album of the Year, Rap Album Artist of the Year, Rap Song Artist of the Year and Video Clip Artist of the Year on the Billboard Music Award and Best Male Hip-Hop Artist on the BET Awards. 2007, T.I. vs. TIP. Main article, T.I. vs. TIP. T.I. released his fifth album, T.I. vs. TIP, on July 3, 2007. The lead single from the album was Big Shit Poppin', Do It, which was produced by Manny Fresh and was released to radio stations on April 17, 2007. The second single, You Know What It Is featuring Wyclef Jean, was released June 12, 2007. T.I. vs. TIP sold 468,000 copies in the United States, according to Nielsen SoundScan, and debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and the top R&B/hip-hop albums chart. It was T.I.'s second chart topper in a row. King opened at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with 522,000 copies in late March 2006. The album included guest performances from Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, Wyclef Jean, Nelly, and Eminem, and production by Eminem, Jeff Bass, Manny Fresh, Grand Hustle, The Runners, Just Blaze, Wyclef Jean and Danja. Absent from this album's production lineup was T.I.'s longtime producer DJ Temp and the Neptunes. In October 2007, T.I. released his third single, Hurt, featuring Busta Rhymes and Alpha Mega. 2008 to 2009, Paper Trail. Main article, Paper Trail. In early 2008, T.I. collaborated with Mariah Carey on the I'll Be Lovin' You Longtime remix, peaking at number 58 on the US Hot 100 and number 36 on the Hot R&B/hip hop songs. Whatever You Like, 2008. Duration, 26 seconds. 0 to 26. T.I.'s second single from his sixth studio album Paper Trail. Problems playing this file? See Media Help. While under house arrest, T.I. began writing lyrics down on paper for his sixth studio album. The first official single from the album, titled No Matter What, was released in April 2008. The music video was released in June 2008 on MTV's FN Premieres. The official lead single was Whatever You Like, released in July 2008, and became the most successful single of his career up until that point, breaking the record for the highest jump to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, jumping from number 71 to number 1 and becoming T.I.'s first solo number 1 single on the chart. On YouTube, the video has a combined 333 million views as of March 2024, split between a copy posted on T.I.'s and Atlantic Records channels. The third single was Swing Your Rag, which featured vocals and production from Swizbeatz.T.I. Released his sixth album, Paper Trail, in September 2008. The title of the album refers to the lyrics he had written down on paper. Like many other rappers, T.I. abandoned this style of rapping after his debut album I'm Serious by just memorizing lyrics. His representative explained that T.I. wanted to take more time to really put something down. This time, the album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 568,000 copies in the United States. The second single from the album, Swagga Like Us, featuring Kanye West, Jay-Z and Lil Wayne, debuted and peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. With the third single, Live Your Life, featuring Rihanna, and produced by Kanye Finch and Just Blaze, T.I. broke his own record on the Billboard Hot 100 when it jumped from number 80 to the number 1. The fourth single, Dead and Gone, featuring Justin Timberlake, peaked at number 2 for 5 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100, eventually going on to be nominated during the 52nd Grammy Awards for both Best Rap/Song Collaboration and Best Rap Song. During the 51st Grammy Awards, he was nominated for 4 Grammy Awards, winning Best Rap Performance by a Duo or a Group for Swagga Like Us. Remember Me, featuring Mary J. Blige, was released digitally on July 7, 2009. It was the planned first single from the re-release of T.I.'s sixth studio album, Paper Trail, but the re-release was eventually shelved. The single peaked at number 29 on the Billboard Hot 100. On October 6, Hell of a Life was released digitally and went on to peak at number 54 on the Billboard Hot 100. In 2009, T.I. appeared as himself on an episode of Kathy Griffin, My Life on the D-List. On the episode, he took the comedian to Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles in LA and gave her a lesson on how to swagger. T.I. in 2009. On November 21, 2008, T.I. testified in the murder trial of a member of his entourage and a close friend, Phil Ant Johnson, 1980 to 2006, who was murdered in a shooting that occurred after a post-concert party at a club in Cincinnati. T.I. has dedicated several songs to Johnson, from the single version of Live in the Sky to Dead and Gone, where Johnson's grave can be seen in the video. 2010 to 2011, No Mercy and Drug Charges. Main article, No Mercy, T.I. album. On March 26, 2010, T.I. was released from a halfway house where he had been serving the remainder of his prison sentence for weapons possession. Soon after his release, he was in the studio working on his seventh studio album titled King Uncaged. Jim Johnson, the producer who previously worked with him on his single, Whatever You Like, and R&B singer Trey Songz, were scheduled to work on the project. T.I. made his first public appearance since prison, stepping out with then-fiancée Tamika Tiny Cottle in support of her Alzheimer's research fundraiser for the Love of Our Fathers at Atlanta's Opera venue. I am very well, very happy to be seen, said T.I., who joined Cottle on stage at the end of the benefit. T.I. released a new promotional single titled I'm Back on March 8, 2010. The single peaked at number 44 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Around this time, he made a featured guest appearance on Diddy Dirty Money's single Hello Good Morning. The single peaked at number 27 in US and charted internationally in 8 other countries. He made a guest appearance on Larry King Live on May 13 to discuss with Larry King about his 9-month prison term on federal gun charges and other topics. T.I. released a promotional soundtrack single entitled Yeah You Know, Takers on May 24. It peaked at number 44 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 68 on the Canadian Hot 100. T.I. released another promotional single entitled Got Your Back, which featured American R&B singer Carrie Hilson and peaked at number 38 in the US later. T.I. made more featured single appearances such as Jamie Foxx's single Winner, featuring Justin Timberlake, and Drake's single Fancy, featuring Swizz Beatz. Both singles charted on the Billboard charts, peaking at the top 50. Prior to the album's release, T.I. decided to release a mixtape titled Fuck a Mixtape. The move was somewhat controversial due to its title, with many feeling he was insulting the mixtape format. T.I. has addressed the issue by stating that it was a response to all the people who told him to just focus on an album and not on a mixtape. T.I. further defended his decision to release a mixtape by saying, I already have 60, 70 songs. A lot of these songs are period pieces that speak volumes to what's going on right now. If I hold on to them next year or the year after, they'll be dated, because my life will be in another direction. If I'm not going to put it on the album and they all can't make the album, then they might as well have another platform to present it to the world. On September 1, T.I. and his wife Tiny were arrested for drug charges. On October 15, 2010, T.I. was sentenced to 11 months in prison for violating the terms of his probation. Following his arrest, T.I. scrapped King Uncaged as the title for his 7th studio album and renamed it No Mercy, due to his new prison sentencing. He then released the lead single from the newly titled album, Get Back Up featuring Chris Brown, on the same day that he was sentenced back to prison for violating the terms of his probation. Get Back Up peaked at number 70 in the US. T.I. began serving his sentence in November 2010 and his date of release was set to be September 29, 2011. No Mercy was released on December 7, 2010. The album peaked at number 4 in the US and it sold over 159,000 copies in its first week. RIA certified No Mercy Gold with over 500,000 copies sold. His second and final single from the album was That's All She Wrote, his second collaboration with Eminem, and was released on December 19, peaking at number 18 in the US. T.I. was nominated for 2 Grammy Awards for Best Rap Solo Performance for I'm Back and Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group, Fancy with Drake and Swizz Beatz, at the 53rd Grammy Awards. He was nominated for a Soul Train Music Award for Best Hip Hop Song of the Year for Got Your Back, and he earned 3 BT Hip Hop Awards nominations for Hustler of the Year, Made You Look Award, and Best Club Banger for Hello Good Morning. In early June 2011, T.I. said in a letter, I'll be releasing a record in the near future, couple of weeks tops, to hold y'all over till I get back in action. On June 30, 2011, a new song was released onto T.I.'s official website and on his official YouTube channel, titled We Don't Get Down Like Y'all, which features fellow Grand Hustle rapper B.O. On the hook. While commenting on the song, T.I. said in another letter, It's a song that I did soon after my release last time. What inspired me to write this record was the differences in how we do us and how they do them suddenly became incredibly evident in just a very short period of time. It was originally only available on Atlantic Records' online store. The song was available on iTunes and other vendors, such as Spotify, on August 9, and it peaked at number 78 in the US. After being released from prison in August 2011, T.I. signed a deal with VH1 for a new reality show that will follow him as he readjusts to life as a free man after the incarceration. He announced that he was working on a novel entitled Power and Beauty, which was set to be released in October 2011. 2011 to 2013, Trouble Man, Heavy is the Head. Main articles, Trouble Man, Heavy is the Head, and GDOD, Get Dough or Die. On September 30, 2011, T.I. released I'm Flexin', the first promotional single from his upcoming 8th studio album. The song features vocals and production from Big Crit. T.I. reunited with young Jeezy on Fame for Jeezy's album TM 103. I'm Flexin' peaked at number 66 on the Billboard Hot 100, while Fame peaked at number 67 on the Billboard Hip Hop/R&B chart. On October 18, T.I. made appearances on The Howard Stern Show and The View to promote his new novel, Power and Beauty, a love story of life on the streets, and discuss other issues involving his time in prison. Later that day, he released the second promotional single, Hear Ye, featuring Pharrell Williams under the alias SK8BRD. After his release from prison, T.I. appeared on several remixes including Spend It by 2 Chainz, Sleazy by Kesha, Niggas in Paris with Jay-Z and Kanye West, Hard White, Up in the Club by Yelawolf, also featuring Slaughterhouse, I'm a Boss by Meek Mill alongside a freestyle over Drake's Headlines, and Lil Wayne She Will. He was also featured on Southern rapper Future's second single Magic, taken from his debut studio album Pluto, which was the first song he hopped on after his release from prison, according to Future. T.I. revealed the title of his 8th studio album to be Trouble Man. The title was partly inspired by Marvin Gaye's 1972 song of the same name, he revealed on Billboard. In a previous interview with Rolling Stone, he said he was debating between 2 titles, Trouble Man and Kill the King. The third promotional single, Pyro, was released on November 21st. In preparation for the album, T.I. released a mixtape entitled Fucked a City Up on New Year's Day. 2 songs off the mixtape charted on the Billboard Hot R&B/Hip Hop Songs, Popped Off, featuring vocals and production from Dr. Dre, and This Time of Night featuring Nelly, respectively. While on set for the Strange Clouds music video, MTV interviewed B.O.B. and confronted him of a rumor that he and T.I. are working on a collaborative album. B.O.B. responded, "The joint album, it actually started as a joke. Tip would always refer to me as the Martian, and in one of his lyrics, he said, 'It's the man and the Martian,' and we said, 'Man, that could be an album title.' We kinda just played around with it. But it seems to be taking form in a very organic way." 64. On December 1, 2011, B.O.B. appeared on New York City's Hot 97 radio station and confirmed that he and T.I. are indeed working on a collaborative album titled The Man and the Martian. On March 1, 2012, T.I. announced his signing of Iggy Azalea, Chipmunk, and Trey the Truth to Grand Hustle Records. That he served as executive producer for Azalea's debut extended play, Glory, 2012, and guest appeared on its lead single Murda Business, which premiered March 26, 2012. On March 30, T.I. released a snippet of Love This Life, Trouble Man's promotional single, produced by Mars of 1500 or Nothin'. The song was released on April 2 and peaked at number 81 on the Billboard Hot 100. T.I. guest appeared on Jamaican singer Sean Kingston's 2012 single Back to Life, Live It Up. The song sampled Soul to Soul's 1989 hit Back to Life, However Do You Want Me. The song peaked at number 52 on the Canadian Hot 100. During his visit to Angie Martinez's radio show, he revealed that the album will be released on September 4. He recorded collaborations with Trey Songz and Usher. "It's just a dope collabo." Usher and Tip, 2 Atlanta natives, Rico Love told Rap-Up.com. "This time I finally feel like they got a record that's gonna be a humongous hit." T.I.'s VH1 reality show T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle was renewed for a second season, which aired on September 3. T.I. released another promotional song off Trouble Man on May 15, entitled Like That. T.I. appeared on Trey Songz's second single off his album Chapter 5 titled 2 Reasons. The song peaked at number 43 in the U.S. Another promotional single off Trouble Man, entitled Go Get It, was released on July 17. The song peaked at number 77 and number 86 in Canada. In September, T.I. appeared on 106 & Park to promote his book Trouble and Triumph, a sequel to his previous novel Power and Beauty. During his visit, he announced a new release date for his album set for December 18. He revealed that the album will feature collaborations from Pharrell, Andre 3000, CeeLo Green, R. Kelly, Lil Wayne, and A$AP Rocky. He also stated that he's working on a women's clothing line from AKO. He later released a new song Trap Back Jumpin', which he premiered during his visit on Angie Martinez's radio show. On October 9, 2012, T.I. was featured on the annual BET Hip Hop Awards Cypher, alongside his Grand Hustle artists Iggy Azalea, B.O.B., Chip, and Trey the Truth. A song titled Ball was released on October 16 as the lead single from his upcoming 8th studio album. The song featured fellow American rapper Lil Wayne and was produced by American record producer Rico Love, alongside Earl and E. The song peaked at number 50 in the US and number 58 in Canada. On October 23, he previewed 12 tracks from the album at its listening party in New York City and also revealed their titles. The tracks previewed feature artists such as Kendrick Lamar. In the following month, T.I. leaked the illustrated cover art from his newly named album entitled Trouble Man, Heavy is the Head, along with the track list and a few newly added features from the album. T.I. explained, "I think it's a lot more urban than Paper Trail and less apologetic than No Mercy. I think it's more diversified than T.I. versus T.I.P. though. It's got a lot of heart, it's got a lot of edge. It's a creative album. It's probably harder than most of the shit that's coming out right now." Sorry featuring Andre 3000 was released as the fifth promotional single via iTunes on November 27. Sorry peaked at number 36 on the Hot R&B/hip hop songs. Then Hello featuring CeeLo Green was released to iTunes on December 11 as the sixth promotional single. The album debuted at number 2 on the US Billboard 200, with first-week sales of 179,000 copies in the United States. As of September 2, 2013, it has sold 502,000 copies. Shortly before Trouble Man, Heavy is the Head was released, T.I. announced he would release the sequel as his next album, titled Trouble Man 2, He Who Wears the Crown. The sequel is due to T.I. recording more material than needed, being cited by T.I. as much as 120 songs. In early January 2013, B.O.B. announced an upcoming Grand Hustle compilation album titled Hustle Gang. On January 18, 2013, it was announced T.I. drew a close to his 10-year contract with Atlantic Records the month before. After releasing Trouble Man, Heavy is the Head, it was reported he proposed a $75 million deal for any label that wants to provide a home for him and his imprint. TMZ reported that T.I. has drawn up the details, which include 3 albums, 10 to 20% of publishing, touring, merchandise, film and TV rights, corporate endorsement deals, as well as exclusive signing of all Grand Hustle artists. T.I. was also allegedly being coaxed by some of the biggest names in the industry. There were reports that Jay-Z was looking to sign T.I., hoping to add him to the Roc Nation roster. T.I. also had an exclusive dinner at Katana with Dr. Dre, who is thought to have proposed an Interscope signing the rapper. T.I. had also met with Sony, who offered him $50 million, and spoke with Universal later that week. In February 2013, T.I. revealed he chose Hello as the third official single from Trouble Man, Heavy is the Head. According to T.I., the CeeLo Green featured song was selected due to its heavy radio play. On March 8, 2013, T.I. told Wrap Up that he was already 60 to 70% completed with Trouble Man 2, He Who Wears the Crown. He also spoke on the Grand Hustle compilation, Hustle Gang, which B.O.B. announced earlier in January. In March 2013, T.I. revealed he would soon be filming the music video for Hello. On March 19, 2013, T.I. performed Hello on Jimmy Kimmel Live. In March, T.I. and B.O.B. filmed the music video for Memories Back Then, a song featuring Kendrick Lamar and Chris Stevens. The song, which was recorded for Trouble Man, Heavy is the Head, originally sampled Somebody That I Used to Know, as performed by Gautier. T.I. said to Wrap Up, although the track failed to appear on Trouble Man, due to sample clearance issues, it was released as the lead single from the Hustle Gang compilation album. 2013 to 2016, Post-Atlantic and Bankroll Mafia. Main articles: Paperwork, T.I. album, Da Nick, Bankroll Mafia, and Bankroll Mafia, album. On March 26, 2013, T.I. appeared alongside Pharrell on Robin Thicke's lead single Blurred Lines from his album of the same name. The song quickly became a worldwide hit and peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it T.I.'s fourth number 1 Hot 100 single. The song has also reached number 1 in 13-plus countries, including the United Kingdom and Germany. In March 2013, Lil Wayne announced T.I. would be co-headlining the second America's Most Wanted tour. T.I. explained that the tour would begin on July 5 and go through September 1, 2013. American rappers French Montana and 2 Chainz were later confirmed to join the tour. Among others, the first America's Most Wanted tour had taken place 5 years prior and featured Young Jeezy, Soulja Boy, Pleasure P, Jeremiah and Young Money. On May 21, 2013, T.I. released a single titled With Me featuring Lil Wayne. The song was released in promotion for the tour and peaked at number 80 on the Hot 100 chart. T.I. performing in 2014. In a July 2013 interview with Power 98 FM, T.I. spoke on his then-upcoming album, Trouble Man 2, He Who Wears the Crown. While he didn't reveal many album specifics, he did promise a project that would make whoever decides to distribute the album very happy. I've been working on this one since the last one dropped. I haven't decided exactly where I'm going to take the new album yet as far as a company for distribution, but wherever I take it, there's going to be some happy people in that building. In September 2013, T.I. was featured throughout Lil Wayne's 12th solo mixtape Dedication 5. On September 1, 2013, it was revealed that T.I. would be featured on American pop star Lady Gaga's album Art Pop, on the song Jewels and Drugs, alongside fellow American rappers Too Short and Twista. Another pop star, Britney Spears, later announced T.I. would appear on her song Tick Tick Boom, from her 8th studio album Britney Jean, 2013. T.I. was also featured on British singer Cher Lloyd's single I Wish, which was released in September 2013. On November 22, 2013, T.I. announced that he had signed a deal with Columbia Records to release his upcoming 9th studio album T.I. Later clarified the deal is solely for his 9th album T.I. Revealed he recruited Pharrell Williams, who was influential in his move to Columbia, to executive produce the LP, with plans to release the album in early 2014. In December 2013, T.I. revealed although he had originally planned to release Trouble Man 2, since getting into the studio with the album's executive producer, Pharrell Williams, he had a change of heart. He stated, "Since we started working on the project and the project has taken a different shape, I think we're going to postpone that title. We're gonna rework that. I got a couple of things in mind." He still plans to release the sequel to Trouble Man, however, he said, "All I'ma say is, it's gonna be a motion picture, it's gonna be a theatrical-worthy title. Something that will definitely seem instant classic. I'm thinking something like Trap Champion, Paperwork, but whatever it is the subtitle will be the motion picture." On December 16, 2013, it was reported that T.I. decided to name it Paperwork. On May 9, 2014, T.I. released a music video for a song titled Turn It, in promotion for Paperwork. On June 3, 2014, T.I. released a song titled About the Money via digital distribution. The song, which serves as the first single from Paperwork, features up-and-coming Atlanta-based rapper Young Thug. The music video for About the Money, directed by T.I. and Kennedy Rothschild, was released on June 2, 2014. On June 17, 2014, T.I. released the second single from Paperwork, a song titled No Mediocre, which was produced by West Coast hip-hop producer DJ Mustard and features a guest verse from his then-protege Iggy Azalea. Since its release, No Mediocre reached number 33 on the Hot 100 chart and was certified platinum by the RIA. On August 20, 2014, one day after speaking out on America in his online treatise about Ferguson, Missouri, in the wake of the fatal police shooting of Michael Brown, T.I. released a new song titled New National Anthem. The song, which features vocals from American singer-songwriter Skylar Grey, includes socially conscious lyrics centered on racism and injustice. On September 23, 2014, Paperwork was made available for pre-order with New National Anthem as the instant gratification track. Also on September 23, the official audio for New National Anthem was released via T.I.'s official Vivo account. T.I.'s 9th album, Paperwork, was released on October 21, 2014. Upon its release, the album debuted at number 2 on the U.S. Billboard 200, with first-week sales of 80,000 copies in the United States. Paperwork received generally positive reviews from music critics. At Metacritic, which assigns a normalized rating out of 100 to reviews from critics, the album received an average score of 69, which indicates generally favorable reviews, based on 10 reviews. On March 11, 2015, T.I. released a single titled Project Steps. On March 24, 2015, T.I. announced his 10th album would be titled Traps Opened. In a June 2015 interview, T.I. revealed his 10th studio album was completed and awaiting release. He also announced he was working on a project as part of the hip-hop collective Bankroll Mafia, alongside Shad DeGod and Young Thug, among others. On June 26, 2015, T.I. released the music video for the single Project Steps and announced his 10th albums. New title would be The Dime Trap. In July 2015, T.I. revealed The Dime Trap was being mixed and mastered. He also added that it is a lot more urban, a lot more edgy, a lot more unapologetically ghetto than Paperwork. In promotion for the album, T.I. unexpectedly released an extended play EP titled Da Nick on September 11, 2015. The EP contains 5 songs, including the singles Project Steps and Check, Run It, the 5-track project, which includes features from Young Thug and Young Dero, as well as production from Jazz Feezy, Shonuff, League of Stars, London on Da Track and Mars, was launched independently. It was released through San Francisco's Empire Distribution and T.I.'s King Incorporated imprint, marking T.I.'s first ever independent release. During this period, T.I. reverted to his previous pseudonym, Tip. On September 18, 2015, T.I. announced his departure from Columbia Records. In an interview with HitsDailyDouble.com, he addressed his situation: having just exited my deal at Columbia, I was a rogue artist, busting creativity, just waiting to put music in the marketplace, so while I'm sorting out my next situation, I'm blessed enough to be able to control my destiny and put music out as quickly as I want to, and was able to release a Tip album, which I had wanted to do for a long. In October 2015, in an interview with MTV News, T.I. said, "This is a perfect time to be able to call myself what I've always been known as, Tip. Being called T.I. is very weird. It's kinda awkward to be famous for a name that you've never been called before in your life. If you want me to know that you don't know me, call me T.I. It's the weirdest, most awkward thing." During the interview, he also spoke on the benefit of not having to deal with a major label and how he couldn't have released a Nick if he wasn't independent. On February 22, 2016, before his pop-up performance at Greenbrier Mall in his hometown of Atlanta, T.I. announced he signed a distribution deal with Jay-Z's Roc Nation for The Dime Trap. T.I. also revealed he is one of the new co-owners of online streaming service, Tidal. T.I., in collaboration with a number of Southern rappers, who are collectively known as Bankroll Mafia, released an eponymous album on April 22, 2016. On May 16, 2016, T.I. released a single titled Dope, which was produced by West Coast hip-hop record producer Dr. Dre. On May 26, 2016, 4 people were shot before T.I. took the stage at Irving Plaza at his scheduled concert in New York City. One of the victims died later at a hospital. In early July 2016, T.I. reiterated that he would like to be known as Tip. "Moving forward in his career, we made a conscious decision to have a lot more faith in the label operations of our art early on. But right now, just to be able to go by Tip and have it be significant and have people still care about the music being released, it's incredibly flattering. I'm humbled. I appreciate all the love." 2016 to 2019, Us or Else and Dime Trap. Main articles: Us or Else, Letter to the System, and Dime Trap. T.I. in a 2019 interview. On July 22, 2016, during an interview with Ebro in the Morning on Hot 97, T.I. announced an EP titled Us or Else. The EP will be aimed at supporting the hashtag Black Lives Matter movement and will speak explicitly about the twisted road race relations took in America to arrive at its current precarious state. On August 6, 2016, T.I. released the first single for Us or Else, a song titled We Will Not, in response to the turmoil caused by the injustices going on in America, namely police brutality following the deaths of Philando Castile and Alton Sterling. On August 31, 2016, T.I. released a new song off Us or Else, titled Warzone, exclusively through Tidal.us or Else was released exclusively through Tidal on September 23, 2016, by Grand Hustle Records and Roc Nation. The EP, which was T.I.'s first project under Roc Nation, reached number 175 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart. On December 16, 2016, without prior announcement or promotion, T.I. released Us or Else, Letter to the System. The project, which was also initially released exclusively through Tidal, features guest appearances from Quavo, Meek Mill, Rara, Big Crit, and Killer Mike, as well as production handled by Knots, Mars of 1500 or Nothing, and Mike and Keys, among others. In January 2017, it was announced T.I. would host the 5th annual Global Spin Awards. In an October 2017 interview with Hip Hop DX, when asked about Grand Hustle Records' upcoming albums, T.I. answered with, "We Want Smoke is out, and then Translate is coming out on November 27th, and Book is October 27th, and you can wait until December 18th for mine. Just know that whenever you see the Chief logo on the project, it's gonna be absolute pandemonium." In February 2017, during an interview with the Breakfast Club radio show, T.I. revealed he would retire from making music after 3 more solo albums. "I'm ready to get the hell out of here, though. I got this next album and I got 3 more albums in my head, conceptualized. Once I get them out, I'm done." Jeezy album? We're still doing it. The next albums? The next one is more like trap music. It's Trap Music 2017. And the one after that, it's gonna be more like Love as it pertains to a dope boy. And the one after that, that's my final album. It's called Kill the King. The last album is Kill the King. Simply because ever since my first album, I've put the title of King of the South on me, and to make yourself the king is to make you a target. And in chess, the object is to kill the king. So Kill the King is the title of my last album. Will they kill him, or will he ride into the sunset happily ever after? In May 2017, in an interview with XXL, when asked about collaborative albums, T.I. answered, "Man, I actually have a few of them. Me and Jeezy, we were supposed been did this a while ago. The project was gonna be called Dope Boy Academy, and we did like 3 or 4 songs, but we just gotta get back in and put it together. We just want to present it correctly. Also, me and Young Dro was talking about doing one. I think we was gonna call it Sophisticated Excellence or something like that. Something he came up with. Me and B.O.B was supposed to do one called The Man and the Martian. I'm open to all collaborations. Me and Trey Songz were supposed to do one too called The Lady Killers. All those of these projects could very well come into fruition. Since 2020, the LIBRA and Kill the King. Main articles, the LIBRA and Kill the King album. On October 16, 2020, T.I. released his 11th studio album, the LIBRA. The album marked his first not to be released by a major label and peaked at number 18 on the Billboard 200, as well as number 9 on the top R&B/hip hop albums charts in the United States. On June 9, 2021, T.I. announced on social media that he was working on his next album, Kill the King, which will be his final album. On May 10, 2024, T.I. released a single entitled Log Clay, with rapper Youngboy Never Broke Again. Feuds. Ludacris. A dispute with Ludacris started when T.I. saw Disturbing the Peace rapper I-20's video. In the video, a man wearing a shirt which said Trap House was being beaten. T.I. mistook the logo to refer to trap music. G-Unit artist Young Buck asked fellow Southern rappers T.I. and Ludacris to appear on his new record on the track Stomp. T.I. recorded a verse which contained a line that Young Buck considered to be an underhanded snub towards Ludacris, "Me getting beat down, / that's Ludacris." Young Buck spoke to Ludacris about the verse, to maintain his neutrality in the controversy. Ludacris then recorded the verse that can be found on the album. T.I.'s record company wanted Ludacris to change his verse before they sanctioned it, but Ludacris refused and T.I. was therefore replaced by The Game on the album version. On June 24, 2007, at the Sunset Tower Hotel in West Hollywood, California, T.I. was involved in a brawl during a luncheon held by Kevin Liles of Warner Music Group, parent company of T.I.'s label, Atlantic Records, with Ludacris manager Chaka Zulu. According to witnesses, T.I. punched Zulu in the face and choked him, and a brief melee ensued. While accepting the award for Best Hip Hop Artist at the 2007 BET Awards, T.I. apologized for the incident, saying, "They say it's a fine line between brilliance and insanity," in an apparent reference to his troublesome alter ego, T.I.P. During the broadcast, cameras showed Ludacris smiling in the audience. The audience stood up and applauded T.I. The two rappers have since resolved their dispute and have collaborated on 2 songs, Wish You Would on Ludacris' 6th studio album, Theater of the Mind, and On Top of the World on T.I.'s 6th studio album, Paper Trail. The original version of the latter featured Kanye West, Lil Flip, While T.I. was incarcerated in 2004, another popular Southern rapper, Lil Flip, took issue with him over his King of the South claims, which launched a much-publicized feud. In an October 26, 2004 interview with hiphopdx.com, T.I. said he'd heard comments about Flip's lyrical ability for a long time but told music journalist Bayer Mack he didn't speak on it because he wasn't raised like that. T.I. said he was also upset Lil Flip waited until his incarceration to criticize him, according to All Hip-Hop, T.I, and Lil Flip had an altercation in Lil Flip's neighborhood, the Cloverland section of Houston. It has been said that T.I. went there to create a DVD exposing Lil Flip to be a fraud. When T.I. went to Cloverland with his entourage, he was met by Flip and his people. Then it was said a fight broke out with one of the members of Lil Flip's entourage started swinging at T.I. until one of T.I.'s bodyguards started shooting. The same day T.I. went on a Houston, Texas radio station talking about the altercation. He revealed that he had the tape and he was going to release it with an upcoming mixtape, but that did not happen because James Prince stopped him from distributing the tape. It is unknown whether T.I. still has the tape or not. The feud was squashed by Rap-A-Lot's Prince after having them sit down and resolve their feud. The feud was documented by the Houston Press and extensively in the 2005 rap music doco Beef 3. Shawty Lo. In 2008, T.I. was involved in a highly publicized feud with Shawty Lo. The feud was characterized by Shawty Lo's track Dun Dun and T.I.'s reply in What Up, What's Happenin'. The song Dun Dun appears to question T.I.'s roots in Bankhead. The music video for What Up, What's Happenin' was shot in Shawty Lo's housing project Bowen Homes, an apparent insult towards Shawty Lo. In an interview, T.I. insisted that his song No Matter What was only partially aimed at Shawty Lo. The feud reached its climax at the November 2008 Dirty Awards, where the entourages of both artists clashed during the ceremony, forcing it to be shut down. 2 incidents forced police to use pepper spray and evacuate the audience. The feud was publicly squashed on March 7, 2009, when Shawty Lo and T.I. appeared on stage together at Club Crucial in Bankhead for T.I.'s farewell concert. After this performance, T.I. gave an interview to MTV, in which he stated that the feud with Shawty Lo was exaggerated by the media and was not a beef. Other ventures. Acting career. T.I. posing with ABC News photojournalist Joe Flockery. In 2006, T.I. starred in his first film, ATL, which was loosely based on his life growing up in Atlanta and attending a skating rink called Cascade. The other cast members included Lauren London, Antoine Patton, Evan Ross, Michael T. Williamson, Jason Weaver, and Keith David. ATL, which was written by Tina Gordon Chisholm and Antoine Fisher, was produced by Timothy M. Bourne, Tyan Watkins, and Will Smith, and was directed by Christopher Robinson. T.I. played the character Rashad Swan, an orphaned 17-year-old senior in high school. In its opening weekend, the film grossed a total of $11.5 million, ranking third in the United States box office, and went on to gross $21.20 million. In 2007, T.I. appeared in his second feature film, the biographical crime film American Gangster, as Stevie Lucas, the nephew of drug kingpin Frank Lucas. In 2010, T.I. starred in the crime-action thriller film Takers as Delonte Ghost Rivers. The film, directed by John Loesenhop, was produced by William Packer, Michael Ealy, Tom LaSalle, Jason Gedder, Gary Gilbert, and T.I. himself. The film was released on August 27, 2010, through Grand Hustle Films and Rainforest Films, distributed by Screen Gems. The cast includes Chris Brown, Idris Elba, Matt Dillon, Paul Walker, Hayden Christensen, and Zoe Saldana. Takers debuted at number 1 at the American box office at $20.5 million in its opening weekend. T.I. starred in the 2013 crime comedy film Identity Thief, appearing as a criminal named Julian, alongside actress Genesis Rodriguez. In 2015, T.I. starred in Get Hard alongside Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart, and appeared as himself in the Entourage movie. He co-starred in Marvel's film Ant-Man, starring Paul Rudd, and its sequel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, 2018. In October 2015, it was reported T.I. signed a talent holding/development deal with Warner Bros. Television. Television career. In 2009, T.I. created a reality show, which aired on MTV, titled T.I.'s Road to Redemption. The series, focusing on the 45 days before rapper T.I.'s March sentencing, hoped to encourage teenagers to avoid spending a life of crime by showing 7 teenagers that there is another way. On December 5, 2011, T.I.'s new reality show T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle, premiered on VH1 after the first full episodes were leaked onto the internet. On July 19, 2018, BT premiered a show titled The Grand Hustle featuring T.I. BT described the show as Grammy-winning recording artist/entrepreneur T.I. Harris is looking to expand his Grand Hustle business empire, so he is on the hunt for a highly skilled executive to join the team. Set in Atlanta, this reality competition series features 16 men and women competing in various challenges for the coveted position, with a 6-figure salary within Tip's multi-million-dollar company, which he built from the ground up. The hopefuls serve up big deals and even bigger doses of drama each week, en route to one being crowned the Grand Hustler. T.I., alongside Chance the Rapper and Cardi B, appeared as a judge for Netflix's Rhythm Plus Flow, a 10-part hip-hop talent search that aired in 2019. Music and film producing. T.I. has served as an executive producer for several projects other than his own, including New Orleans-based rapper BG's 10th album Too Hood To Be Hollywood, 2009, Atlanta-based rapper B.O.B's debut album The Adventures of Bobby Ray, 2010, and Australian rapper Iggy Azalea's debut EP Glory, 2012, among others. In 2005, T.I. executive produced the soundtrack to the film Hustle and Flow, releasing the collection through his record label, grandhustle.t.i. Has produced several song recordings, including for Mariah Carey, Cassidy, Rick Ross, Mano, B.O.B, Yen Jock, Yen Diro, and himself. T.I. served as a ghostwriter and assisting songwriter for several artists, such as Bow Wow, Sean Diddy Combs, Dr. Dre, Bun B, and Keisha Cole. In 2009, T.I. formed a record production team called The Smash Factory, composed of T.I., Lil C and Mars. The Grand Hustle label has signed artists that T.I. has collaborated with, like Azalea and B.O.B., as well as other artists, like Travis Scott. In 2006, T.I. launched his own film company, Grand Hustle Films. In late 2007, T.I. linked up with Los Angeles-based production company 828 Entertainment to executive produce a reality show titled Life on Mars, which chronicles the life of young prodigy music producer Lamar Mars Edwards of production team 1500 or Nothing. T.I. partnered 828 Entertainment with his company Grand Hustle to produce a slate of both television and film projects. As of June 2014, T.I. is confirmed as an executive producer for the Oxygen docu-series, Sisterhood of Hip Hop. Community work. In addition to helping with Hurricane Katrina relief efforts, T.I. worked with troubled youths at Paulding Detention Center in Atlanta, provided scholarships for single-parent families at Boys and Girls Clubs, and headlined the Boost Mobile Rockcore concert at New York's Radio City Music Hall, which featured such performers as Fat Joe, Slim Thug, and Kanye West, and was held exclusively for community service volunteers. As part of his community service time, T.I. visited a number of middle grade and high schools in Georgia, where he speaks with the students in an assembly, holding a positive message, while maintaining a philanthropic view about morals and growing up in the same areas as himself. In June 2005, the Lisa Left Eye Lopez Foundation, named for the deceased member of multi-platinum female group TLC and Atlanta's V103, honored T.I. with the 2005 Lisa Lopez Award for groundbreaking achievements in music and community service, which was court-ordered. With this steady list of growing accomplishments, T.I. was recognized as the Jay-Z of the South, according to Pharrell Williams of multi-platinum production team The Neptunes. T.I.'s nightclub, Club Crucial, hosted a giveaway of 200 bicycles to neighborhood children in the Boys and Girls Club with V103 announcer Greg Street. Upon being asked his opinion on Obama supporting gay marriage, he responded that people should be free to do what they want to do. Business ventures. Forbes magazine announced its first-ever Hip-Hop Cash Kings list in early 2007, listing the top 20 hip-hop earning artists for the previous business year. T.I. was listed on their list 4 times. In 2015, the rapper was again included in Forbes' annual list after earning $6 million. T.I. opened his own nightclub, called Club Crucial, in Bankhead, Atlanta. It is considered one of the most popular clubs in Atlanta and features full entertainment centers with large flat-screen TVs, pool rooms, VIP rooms, and food. Celebrities such as Monica, Big Boy, Mike Epps, and Shawty Lo have made appearances there. The club hosts weekly events such as Monday Night Open Mic Night, Free Fridays, and Celebrity Saturdays, where local hip-hop artists perform their songs at the club. After the release of his hit single Top Back, Chevrolet secured an endorsement deal with T.I. earlier in 2007 to promote their line of cars, with a focus on the new Impala. Due to his arrest for federal gun charges, he was on the verge of losing his deal with the company. T.I. had an endorsement with a social networking website focusing on the hip-hop culture named StreetCred.com. The website was founded in 2007 by investment banker Rocky D. Williform. Celebrities such as Diddy, Lil' Kim and Young Jeezy had accounts on the website. As of 2008, the website was temporarily shut down until further notice. Main article, AKO Clothing. In 2008, T.I. announced the launch of his clothing company AKO, an acronym for A King of Oneself, focusing on urban apparel such as lightweight t-shirts, cardigans, sweaters, embroidered wovens, leather jackets and quality denim among a variety of other clothing. In June 2010, T.I. was named Global Creative Consultant of Remy Martin Cognac. XXL magazine revealed that the partnership will include collaborative projects and a focus on continuing the philanthropic works of his KING Foundation. He announced on Chelsea Lately that he would be releasing his own signature brand of the liquor. T.I. lost his endorsement deal with Axe Body Spray following his arrest for drug possession. In May 2012, T.I. revealed he has invested money in a social marketing app called Yapama. In February 2016, T.I. announced he joined subscription-based music streaming service Tidal as an artist owner, making him the 19th of his kind, and in company with artists such as J. Cole, Beyoncé, Kanye West, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Lil Wayne, Daft Punk, Madonna and of course, Jay-Z. In June 2016, T.I. opened a strip club called V-Live in Atlanta. Legal issues. 1994 to 2006, drugs, weapons and assault. 1994, first arrest. Mugshot of T.I. in September 2003. Harris first began dealing drugs as a teenager, and by the age of 14, he had already been arrested several times. 1997 to 2004, felony drug conviction and probation violations. In March 2004, a warrant was issued for T.I.'s arrest after he violated his probation of a 1997 drug conviction, as well as a 1998 conviction for violating a State-Controlled Substances Act and for giving false information. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison. While imprisoned in Cobb County, Georgia, he filmed an unauthorized music video in May 2004. He was released on probation. After being released, he earned a litany of probation violations in several counties around Georgia for offenses ranging from possession of a firearm to possession of marijuana. 2006, strip club threat and Florida battery of sheriff deputy, community service. In 2006, after appearing in an Atlanta court on May 10 and having charges that he threatened a man outside a strip club the previous year dropped for lack of evidence, Harris was arrested on an outstanding probation violation warrant from Florida. The warrant claimed that Harris did not fulfill the required number of community service hours he was sentenced to complete for a 2003 battery of a female sheriff deputy at University Mall in Tampa. Harris was detained by several mall security guards at the time of the incident. According to WSB-TV in Atlanta, the rapper's attorney said that the problem was nothing more than a technical matter between Georgia and Florida. The confusion arose because T.I. was also sentenced to community service in Georgia for driving with a suspended license, for which he completed 75 hours of community service in his home state. He was released on bail shortly after being arrested and was expected to surrender to Florida state authorities the following week to resolve the matter. 2007 to 2009, federal weapons conviction. On October 13, 2007, federal authorities arrested Harris for hours before the BET Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta that he was charged with 2 felonies, possession of 3 unregistered machine guns and 2 silencers, and possession of firearms by a convicted felon. The arrest was made in the parking lot of a downtown shopping center, which a witness identified as the Walgreens drugstore at the corner of North and Piedmont Avenues. Harris was arrested after allegedly trying to purchase the guns from a cooperating witness with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives. According to federal officials, the witness had been cooperating with authorities a few days prior to the arrest, when the cooperating witness was arrested on charges of trying to purchase guns from a federal agent. The witness had been working as Harris's bodyguard since July, authorities said. On October 26, 2007, Harris walked out of the United States District Court in Atlanta after appearing before U.S. Magistrate Judge Alan J. Baverman and posting a $3 million bond, $2 million cash plus equity on his property. Harris was required to remain at home except for medical appointments and court appearances. The only people allowed to live with him were his girlfriend and children. Visitors were required to be approved by the court. Harris's suppression hearing was scheduled for February 19, 2008. He later pled guilty to U.S. federal weapons charges and was sentenced to an undefined prison sentence, a year of house arrest, and 1,500 hours of community service. In an interview with MTV about serving prison time, Harris said, "Presumably, while I'm there, I'll be able to strategize my comeback." He went on to say that he would not just be sitting still doing nothing. On March 27, 2009, U.S. District Judge Charles A. Pinnell Jr. sentenced Harris to 1 year and 1 day in prison and ordered him to pay $100,300 in fines. Harris had his sentence reduced from an original maximum 10 years and a $250,000 fine with a plea bargain. On May 26, 2009, Harris began serving his sentence in Forest City, Arkansas. 2 days prior to being imprisoned, he performed a farewell concert at the Phillips Arena in Atlanta. Harris was released from FCI Forest City on December 22, 2009 and transferred to a halfway house in Atlanta. Harris had the Federal Bureau of Prisons ID 59458-019 and was released from CCM Atlanta on March 26, 2010. After his release from prison, he was subjected to an audit of his finances, drug counseling, DNA testing, and random searches of his property. 2010 to 2011, probation violation and 11-month sentence. On September 1, 2010, T.I. and his wife Tiny were arrested for drug charges. The arrest for drug charges led to T.I. being sentenced on October 15, 2010, to 11 months in prison for violating the terms of his probation, specifically for possessing ecstasy, testing positive for opiates and associating with a convicted felon, namely his P.C. cohort C-Rod. On October 25, the drug charges against T.I. were dropped. On November 1, T.I. reported back to the Forest City Federal Facility to serve his 11-month sentence. His date of release was set to be September 29, 2011. On August 31, 2011, T.I. was released from Forest City at 7:29 a.m. and sent to a community living facility to serve out the rest of his 11-month sentence. He then released a statement on Twitter saying, "The storm is over and the sun back out. It's our time to shine, Shadi. Welcome to the beginning of our happy ending." 2011, rearrest over transportation dispute. He was sent back to federal custody on September 1, less than 48 hours after his release, due to a dispute involving T.I. taking a luxury bus from a prison in Arkansas to a halfway house facility in Atlanta. T.I.'s attorney, Stephen Sado, told the Associated Press that the Federal Bureau of Prisons moved T.I. to a different facility and clarified that the dispute was not drug-related. T.I. was later released from prison and was sent back to the halfway house, where he was released on September 29 at midnight. 2014, standoff with Los Angeles police officers. On April 30, 2014, T.I. and Compton rapper The Game were involved in a verbally confrontational standoff with officers of the Los Angeles Police Department. According to Billboard, it was believed to have been disconcerted as a response to officers misconducting a group of bystanders afar from a nightclub the two artists were attending. In a video leaked by TMZ, T.I. and Game were forced out of the club, which they nicknamed the Supercut Club, or Supper Club, by LAPD officials, due to an investigation of a drug and gambling ring. The club's security guards were present at the scene and refused the rappers' re-entries into the property to avoid more legal troubles. T.I. and Game were forced to stand back, with T.I. yelling, "Y'all got a lot of people beat up. We got good lawyers." One of the bystanders was forced to lay down with his hands over his head without warning, and security kicked him repeatedly to try to get him back up in opposition. Another guard yelled, "He goes to jail tonight." T.I. and Game were rumored to have been arrested for simple assault on a police officer and disturbing the peace. They were later released with charges dropped. This was later denied by LAPD team members. 2015 Tax issues. In August 2015, the IRS filed liens totaling more than $4.5 million on T.I.'s property for unpaid taxes from 2012 and 2013. 2018 Public disorder arrest. On May 16, 2018, Harris was arrested outside of the gated community where he lives for misdemeanor charges of simple assault, disorderly conduct, and public drunkenness in Henry County, Georgia, after a guard allegedly refused to let Harris into the complex without a key. Harris posted bond and was released later that day. 2020 Crypto fraud charges. In September 2020, Harris was charged by the SEC for his involvement in 2 fraudulent initial coin offerings. 2021 Sexual abuse allegations. On January 26, 2021, Sabrina Peterson, who is associated with T.I. and his family, alleged on social media that T.I. put a gun to her head and threatened to kill her in 2009. Following the post, allegations of sexual abuse by Harris and his wife Tiny appeared underneath the post. By March 2021, more than 30 women and at least one man accused Harris, his wife Tiny, and their associates of forced drugging, kidnapping, rape, and intimidation in at least 2 states, including California and Georgia, which allegedly occurred since at least 2005. An attorney for the accusers has sent letters to the state attorneys general of California and Georgia asking them to open an investigation. The accusers allege that prior to or upon immediately entering T&T's home, hotel, or tour bus, they were coerced by Tiny to ingest drugs or were unknowingly administered drugs to impair the victim's ability to consent to subsequent vile sexual acts. In January 2021, Harris released a video on Instagram denying the allegations, claiming that all of his sexual encounters had been consensual. As a result of the allegations, production of T.I. and Tiny, Friends and Family Hustle was suspended. 2024 Sexual assault allegations. In January 2024, Harris and his wife were again sued for sexual assault, this time for an alleged incident that involved them drugging and sexually assaulting a woman in a Los Angeles hotel room in 2005. According to Variety, the suit describes the plaintiff as being in her early 20s when the assault happened and asserts she was serving in the U.S. Air Force at the time. After allegedly being introduced to the couple by an associate named Caviar, whom she had met at the house of the rapper Coolio the night before the assault.